Greetings everyone, and welcome to Oily Dog Racing. This is Jim. Today we're at my workbench and I'm going to show you a really neat 32nd scale slot car that I picked up and did some work to. This is really a hard one to find. This is a Chaparral 2J made by Top Slot. It's a resin car. I'm showing you the pictures on my monitor. They're not really clear, but this is how it looked as I purchased it. It's a nice body. The driver's wearing a red suit, which was incorrect, with a blue helmet, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Let me get another picture here. There's another shot of that driver. There's no windscreen either, and the roll bar is white. A couple other things. And then right here, what's really interesting is anybody who knows anything about Chaparrals, I mean, even if you have a few slot car Chaparrals, you'll notice the front wheel is wrong. And the reason they did that is because Top Slot used a chassis from a Fly Chevron B19/21, I believe. And they did not put the Chaparral or BBS style wheels on there. They just used those factory wheels. So if you ever see one of these models that it looks like it has the wrong wheels, well, that's the way they came. So that was another one of the things I fixed. So let me get right to the car as it is completed, and I'll show you guys what I did. Okay, pardon my hand. Bring some light over here with my squeaky lamp. Okay, there it is, and you could see we've got the correct wheels on there. I had some Chaparral inserts that I ground out the hub and of the Chevron style wheel and inserted those in, painted them silver, and then gave them a little bit of a black wash to highlight the casting or the spokes. That was job number one. I painted the roll bar black because the real roll bar was black right here. A Top Slot painted theirs white. Pardon me. You can also see that I have a windscreen here now, and the windscreen not only goes across, but it drops down like the real one did. That was real easy to make. That took about, real easy because it was flat stock. It took about 10 minutes to measure that and cut that out. There you can see how it goes down into the body a bit. After I finished the model, I looked at it and I said, boy, that's not right. It really needs the windscreen. So there we have it. Now, a little history on this car, and I'll talk to you about the driver shortly. And of course, you can get on YouTube, and they've got some fabulous Chaparral books as well, and you could really learn a lot about this car. But briefly, I'll tell you just kind of a synopsis. This was the Chaparral 2J that competed in the 1970 Can-Am Series. It was raced in Group 7, or the Can-Am Series. It only competed in a few of the races. It had a lot of mechanical problems, which really limited its performance. However, when it did run, it was a monster. It was actually recorded 2 seconds faster a lap than the next fastest Can-Am car, which I believe may have been a McLaren. It was a big block Chevy, 465 cubic inch big block Chevy, connected to a 3-speed automatic transmission, produced about 680 horsepower. But what really rose, people's eyebrows was, I can't really say if this is the business end, but this is the secret. They had taken a 2-stroke motor and powered 2 military tank 17-inch fans in the back to create a synthetic downforce, basically. And by doing this, the downforce never decreased at speeds, whereas on a modern day car, when you're clipping along at a higher speed with the wings, like a Formula One car, you get some incredible downforce, but at a lower speed, not as much. But this sucked the car to the ground, whether it was standing still or full bore. Flip around again here. The car was really designed to have the air come up and over it. The openings in the front were for radiator cooling and for brake duct cooling. Besides that, it was pretty much a slab side. Now, what this model does not have, but the real one did, is all along the bottom, in the back section here on the bottom, it had plastic skirts that hung down, and they basically came about an inch above the road. And that produced a box so the downforce wouldn't be lost. And brilliantly, what Hall did also was he connected those to the suspension. So going through the turns, you get your car will lean and the suspension will do its job. Well, if you did that with those mounted side skirts, you would lose downforce and then the car would shoot right off the road. So by having the side skirts connected to the suspension, they always stayed at the same, give or take 1 inch off the ground, keeping that downforce. Just a brilliant design. It's so brilliant, in fact, that a lot of the other teams started complaining about it. And eventually the car got banned because they said that those movable skirts were what they referred to as a movable aerodynamic device, and it was deemed illegal, although initially it was not. The other thing that they were saying too is these fans were spitting up rocks and stones and causing troubles for other drivers, whether or not that really happened, or it was just another excuse. It's in the history books. But Jim Hall drove this car a couple times. He also had Jackie Stewart drive it at I believe it was Watkins Glen. This particular guy here is Vic Elford, and he drove it in three races. I still have to put some little Union Jacks on the side of his helmet, as that's what he that's the kind of helmet he wore with the markings. Vic Elford was also the driver for Chaparral's Trans Am Camaro. But yeah, so that's the car. Just fantastic. These don't come up very often, and when I saw this one come up, I had to break the piggy bank, but I am not disappointed. Let me show you the chassis here. Let me flip around again because you can see it's just a fly chassis. Chevron, B19/B21. Paul Gage urethanes. Thank you, Paul. And the other thing I did too is I spaced out the front wheels. They were tucked too far into the body. Stock flag, stock brushes, magnets been removed. But yeah, that's the car, and it drives very well. Very happy with it. If you get a chance to buy one of these, if you're a collector like me, I would do it. I'm a collector and a racer. This is not just going to sit on the shelf. I had it down on my Suzuka circuit track down in the basement, and I usually I'll take a few laps with the car, and then I'll be done. This thing I couldn't stop driving. So thanks for watching. Again, Jim from Oily Dog Racing. Everyone have a good evening, a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.